Hey guys, it's Catherine with the Homestead Guru. We are here at Barton Springs with my friend Juliet. She's been teaching me all about flower essences, and today we have found a big patch of Turks cap.
Turks cap, that's
You want to tell us about this?
I want to tell you about Turks cap. I guess they get their name because they look a little like a Turks cap on the top here. They are a native to Texas, so they do thrive in this hot, dry weather here. Turks cap is a really interesting flower, especially in this day and age, because a lot of people are realizing about trauma that's held in the body that needs to be released. And this particular flower is especially good if you are feeling called to heal ancestral trauma that goes back generations in your family. You may have families that, family members that have problems with addiction that go way back generations, or just certain mindsets, belief systems that are limiting, the growth and the progress of your soul in this lifetime. And this flower is really good about releasing that trauma. It helps you to release that trauma and to get in touch with that trauma, to get the wisdom from why it's there, what it solved, for your family at one time or your body at one time. It doesn't even have to be ancestral trauma, but it does work with that. But any kind of bodily trauma could be sexual, anything with the lower chakras. It really helps to activate those lower chakras and release that energy.
Interesting that it's red as well. Yes. Like the root chakra color.
Exactly. So stored anger, stored trauma in those lower chakras.
Okay, so when you're talking about this and we're talking about flower essences, how does this flower become a flower essence that people can actually utilize in this regard?
That's a good question. So I usually come early in the morning when I want to collect a flower, and I just take a few. I try to find a bush like this where it has numerous flowers. I don't want to take from a plant where it's small and doesn't have very many flowers. I want to take from something that's very abundant and it's willing to give its medicine to us. We're here at Barton Springs, like Kat said, and I actually use the water, this living spring water from Barton Springs here. I collect it during times where it's very pristine, like early in the morning, or where there's not a lot of people in the water. And I collect it close to the source where it actually comes out of the ground. 24 million gallons a day come out of this spring. It is just a great blessing for Austin, Texas. So I use the living water. I will take just a few flowers, 3, 4, 5 at the most. I collect them in a glass container with the living water, and I just let them in the sun. Early morning sun is best, and 2, 3, 4 hours, whenever it feels good. And then to preserve them, I have been using a variety been exploring with kind of that thing. Right now I'm using a local vodka. It's a Dripping Springs vodka, but I've also used some other ones. There's another apple brandy made in Lockhart, and I can also use, for people who are really sensitive to alcohol, I can use a preservative like apple cider vinegar or vegetable glycerin. It's mostly with the water with the flower. I take the flowers out, of course, and the preservative. So that's a tincture. You usually take it underneath your tongue, and just a few drops. Usually in the beginning, most people use flower essences for just a few weeks at a time. I use a pendulum sometimes. There's muscle testing. There's different ways you can, decide how long you want to use an essence. In the beginning, you'll feel like using them more often throughout the day, maybe up to 10 times a day. But usually as it progresses and you integrate with this healing energy, you use it less. So it's basically just the energy of the flower infused and preserved in this tincture, and that just works kind of on a cellular, energetic level. I call it flower Reiki.
Ooh, I like that. I definitely had that experience with the flower essences, the wanting to take it more at first and feeling like, and I would just notice it, I need some now, I need some right now, but as time progressed, it kind of slowed down a little bit. So we're going to be learning with Juliet about different flowers, and you can follow that at thehomestead.guru. And she has an Instagram page.
Yes, it's inner flower essences. There's underscores between those words, inner underscore flower underscore essences. Oh, I'm sorry, inner light flower essences. On Instagram, same thing on Facebook, Inner Light Flower Essences, and my Etsy is actually just Inner Light Essences.
Beautiful. Okay, well, thank you for teaching us a little bit about this awesome flower, Turks cap. I'm so excited to learn more with you. Thank you.